Okay, you see this chart here? You see how cluttered it looks? You know, you have 1, 2, 3, all this. You got all your trades here and all the lines and all that. It makes it kind of cluttered, right?
Right.
Okay. Sometimes it's better to have a little less and less on there. Tools, options. So if we get rid of everything like this, then you can put on there it's nothing more than what you want to see. See Art Q, 20. So here is just the lines like you and Peyton have been doing. And on this, what you would do when you tap on it like that, which, well, I guess we'll move the lines first. You see the little green dot down here at the bottom? What that's wanting me to do is to move that green line. So you move the green line, click and hold that down and move with the mouse thing. The red line, you do the same thing. Tap it, move it. You're going to move the red line to where you want to sell. It's the same thing as the B and the S. It's the same thing. And once you get it to where, just say for instance, we wanted to buy there, right there. We wanted to sell right there. Once you get that, now you hit Control I. Okay, so hit Control I. No, don't hold it down. Just tap it. There you go.
Oh.
Okay, just push down on Control and push down on Control and then tap I. That's all you have to do. Alright, so let's look at let's see, not that one. Okay. Let's look at this one here. This is, nope, not that one either. What were we just looking at? AUD CAD, I thought. Oh, here we go. Okay, what we have here is the AUD CAD, which we were just looking at. And what I have, see these little dots? That's called the parabolic SAR. PSAR is what I call it. You see this here? This is just another indicator. I know it don't mean nothing to you today, but it will. This is what's called the awesome indicator, AO. And this here is, this aqua line, is the Williams percent range, it's WPR. And I know this means nothing to you, but it's the next step. This is the next step from the way Peyton is just moving. She's just pointing to the green line and saying buy. She's pointing to the red line. She says sell. This is the next step from that. Okay, what I want you to do is come over here, tap on the, hold on a second, wait till I tell you, wait till I finish. Tap on the red line, and I want you to move to a location. Keep in mind that we want to buy when this line right here turns green, predominantly, in other words, usually, and we want to sell when it gets here. Now, we don't have to sell every single time. We don't have to, but it's in our mind to sell. What I want you to do this time is I want you to move this red line. Just tap on it. Oops, green one's going to move first, but that's okay. And you see where this aqua line comes up and touches the yellow line in the center? I want you to drag this green line to a location such as that right there. That's a convenient one right there. And then when it never crossed, it touched it, but it didn't cross above it. It finally crossed above it here, but it touched it there. And then when it crosses back down below, like right there, quit rubbing your eye. That's why it gets red. When it crosses back down below, I want you to move the red line, which is where we're going to sell, right? So you're moving the green one, or Lyman or whatever to here. And I want to show you something. And you're going to move the red one to like right here in this area. Okay, go ahead. Oh, and that's another thing I forgot to tell you. See this green line, this red line? And there's a green one underneath there. You're going to move the green one first.
Okay.
Really, the only place you can kind of grab it is up here. It is in this area, from here to here. You can't really grab it in this area or this area. You have to grab it up here, which is really where you were headed, but go ahead, try it now. Okay, there you go. You got it. Just drag on across. Remember where I told you to? It doesn't really matter, but just using this one example. Cool, right there. Okay, now look at that. It's a kind of a coincidence that the WPR hit the -50 line. This here, this is the awesome indicator. A lot of times, not always, but a lot of times, when it goes from magenta to aqua, what's happening, it's turning up, and it's kind of going back up. And then also, you see how the PSAR, see how the dot is right there? And then also, it turned from red to green. What you have here, you have one, let's call it red-green. You have PSAR, that's 2. You have the awesome indicator, that's 3. And you have the WPR, hit to 50, that's 4. You have 4 things saying buy there. On the WPR, you usually want to buy, sometimes, when it hits the 50 or crosses above. The awesome indicator, which is the second one there, you usually want to buy when it turns from magenta to aqua. PSAR you want to buy when the dot moves below. See how the dot is above this line here? And it moved, I mean above. It's above that line here. And then it moved below right there. You want to buy there. The opposite of that is when the dot is here. You see how it moved above? You want to sell. It's a lot to take hold. I mean, you're just 8, but you will get it. You just got to practice. Okay, so drag the red line to where you have where that crosses down below, where the WPR, which is the bottom one, crosses below the yellow line.
Okay.
No, you have to tap on it first.
Oops. Sorry.
That's okay. Get it back. Yeah. Well, I do the same thing all the time. But just to get, see when that little box comes up, that's when you know you can mess with it. Did you see how it made that little square box right there? That's when you know that you can really pull it. So go ahead and pull it over there.
Hold this first?
Yeah, hold that down just like you did the other one. Hold it down. There you go.
I forgot where you pointed again. Sorry.
That's okay. There's nothing to be sorry about. It's only money. Right there.
Right there?
No, one more. Right where it touches. Right there. Okay, now, remember Peyton? She was buying when the line turns green, and she was selling where the line turns red. Here, look at that. In this case, in this one right here, you see we want to sell when the aqua turns to magenta. We want to buy when the magenta turns to aqua. Right. Here it didn't work out for us. It's still aqua in it. But that's okay. Everybody don't have to agree. As long as 2 or 3 or something like that agree, you're in pretty good shape. This fell down. We want to buy when the WPR hits 50 or goes above. We want to sell when WPR, which is this aqua line, crosses down below 50. This is 50 right here. You see how it's hard to see, but see how it says horizontal line minus 50.
I could see that really good.
Yeah, your eyes are better than mine. But it's actually a minus 50, but we can call it 50. So we would have bought here, and we would have sold there. Okay, now remember how I told you hit Control I? When you hit Control I, this right here, it's going to add up what you would have made if you would have bought there and sold there. So hit Control I, and we'll see what you would have made.
Okay. Control.
So just tap it. You'd have made $108 using Peyton's size lots. She's just trying to buy a bike. She's just using small lots. 0.03 standard lot. Now if you'd have been trading a standard lot, which some people do, you'd have made $3,600 in $9. Okay, we're going to sell there, right?
Right.
Okay, now move the line to where the next place you would have bought at.
Okay.
Just kind of tap on it. There you go. Perfect. Takes a little bit getting used to. I mess up myself all the time. You think right there?
Mhm.
Okay.
Because you sell here, and then when you first get to that green line up there, you buy.
That's correct. If you want to.
If you want to.
Okay. Now, here, remember, if it goes from magenta to aqua, we do what?
We buy.
That's right, we buy. So we're just one, these are called bars. We're just one bar off of that buy signal. Look at the PSAR. See right there? When the dot drops from above the line to below the line, what do?
We sell?
No, buy.
Sorry.
Buy.
Get mixed up.
Yeah, well, we're throwing a lot at you right here. So I mean, you're going to get mixed up. But when it drops below that, we buy. So we're one dot off there too. So we're a little bit, you might call it late by waiting to right here. Remember how I said a while ago we want to buy when this line hits that?
The yellow line.
Remember how we bought right there?
Yep.
So let's move it back. Let's move it back here and just see what happens. Okay, it crossed like in the middle of a bar. I can't put it there. That was been the first place that it really touched it. And look, now this one is saying buy. This one is saying buy. The dot is saying buy.
But that's saying sell.
No, that's saying it's not saying sell.
Oh.
It says sell when it goes from green to red.
All right.
But if it's red, and stays red for a while, it's not saying anything really. It only says sell when it changes from green to red. That's the only time it says sell. Now if you get right here, you can sell if you want, but it's not saying sell. It's not the true signal. The true signal is on the color change.
I thought it was saying sell on that right there.
No, only at the color change, when it changes from lime to red.
Mm-hmm.
Now you can still sell right here if you want. You can sell if you want, or you can buy right here. But the true signal is on the color change. The minute, okay. Now hit Control I and let's see how much we would have made there. What happened? Look, see that 108? See that 108? Mm-hmm. That 108 will change. We might have made money. We might have lost money. We have no clues what we're gonna make yet. We'd have made $82.24.
We lost money.
No. The other trade we made whatever the other figure was. I mean, but this trade when we sold here, we bought here, we made $82. Okay, so now let's move. Let me move this one real quick. Let me move this. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna move it to right there, to where the color change is. Hit Control I again. Let's see if we would have done better or worse. Look at that. We'd have lost money. Odd as it seems, we would have actually lost a little bit had we waited to the color change. That might just be a coincidence, you know, a rare thing, but we would have actually lost money there. Okay, so let's leave this, move that back to the PCR dot, move the line wire back. Yeah, see that dot? It's kind of hard.
Oh, I don't have it on yet.
Yeah, you gotta kind of play with it. There you go.
That dot?
No, this dot. Right
Oh, sorry. That dot.
No, one more. The first dot.
Oh.
Well, right there. See, that's where it crossed this. That's where the WPR crossed the yellow. That's where this went from magenta to aqua, and that's the first PCR dot. Okay, now move the red line up to the next place you would have sold, wherever it would be.
So that blue dot.
Yeah, if you want to sell there, yeah, that's good. If you want to.
Okay.
Okay. Now look. Here, it has not. This has not hit the 50, right?
No.
But this changed from aqua to magenta. This line changed from lime to red, and that dot went from below to above. So we have 1, 2, 3 things saying sell. And this one right here is, it hasn't said anything yet.
Nope.
Okay, so hit Control I, see what you would have made in that trade. $197. Okay.
So when that blue line's in the middle, it doesn't make nothing. Right?
What blue line's in there?
This blue line down there, when it's in the middle, it doesn't really make nothing.
This?
Like say nothing.
This blue line right here?
Mhm.
Right. The true signal is, in this situation, when this aqua line first touches, comes from below, and first touches the yellow line. First touches. That's the first touch. And that right there would have been the second touch, but it doesn't make any difference because we would have already bought here.
Right.
Then it fell below. We sell there. It crossed back above. There's the next first touch. But actually what it did, it crossed above mid-bar. That's the first place we could have got in. So it touched it there. Now it came back and touched it here again, but it doesn't make any difference because we had already bought. And if you want to buy a second time, you could. But we had already bought right here because that's where you move the line. Let's see.
What about up here?
That doesn't matter. That's just an extreme there. It doesn't matter for what we were showing today. It does matter. Yes, it absolutely does. If you would have bought, I'll tell you what, let's do it. I'll show you. It does matter. You see there how you moved the chart a while ago? I just did the same thing. It's easy to do.
I mean, like, when it goes up, touches that yellow line, do we buy?
No, it's only the center line right here.
Okay.
For today, what we're working on today. We might change it up tomorrow. Okay, so right now, what we did a while ago, we bought right here, and we sold right there. Hit Control I and see what you would have made. $108. Okay, so now, what you're saying is, what about crossing this line? Okay, let's see. What that's called, that is when something really goes overbought. That's why I got that line there. It's overbought. When it crosses this, when it gets above this, that tells me, hey, wake up, get ready. You know, it's gone quite far. Okay, hit Control I now. Let's see if it's better than 108. No, you didn't do it good. Hit hold Control down. And $99. We wouldn't have, unless there's a 1 behind there, which there's not. We wouldn't have made as much. But what it does, it puts you on board. It tells you, hey, wake up, start looking. It might be fixing to fall down. That's all it does. And sure enough, by the time we got woke up good, it did start falling down, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's see here.
I just wanted to know what that line meant.
Yeah, all the lines mean something different. There's Peyton's thing there.
Mm-hmm.
$769, 16 buys, 183 sales, 198 wins, and 0 losses so far.
Peyton's doing good on her losses.
Yeah, she's doing good on everything, really, especially for a 5-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's good for an 8-year-old. Let's see, is that on the insurance? I think that's enough for tonight anyway.